So, about 12 years ago, when I was just 7 years old, the air was not as polluted compared today. The air was still safe to breathe, and you do not see smoke when you are on top of a building. People would wear face masks only because they were sick or avoiding sickness, and not because they were afraid to breathe polluted air. That was about 12 years ago. Now it is 2020 and times have changed for the worse. The air is no longer safe to breathe, and breathing air in China for a whole day is equivalent to smoking a stick of cigarette. And soon almost all countries will experience this. People would wear face masks today not only because they are avoiding sickness, but also because the air is so polluted that you do not want to breathe anymore.
The pollution in the air is called biological pollution or biopollution. Biopollutants are substances in our environment which comes from living organisms that can affect our health. This includes things such as pollen from trees, plants, insects or insect parts, certain fungi, some bacteria and viruses, and even animals' hair, scales, saliva, and urine.
Air is one of the vital gases we need in order to live. Air is a mixture of gases we breathe every second. Scientifically, it is made out of 78% nitrogen mixed with 21% oxygen, 0.9% argon, 0.4% carbon dioxide. Water vapor may be a variable of it, and it contains trace gases.
However, many people use the terms air and oxygen interchangeably. To avoid such confusion, these two terms are actually different from each other. As explained earlier, air is composed of different gases while the oxygen is a pure element and it is just one of the gases to produce air. It is technical to hear, but we all know air is important because aside from water, shelter, and food, air is also what we need in order to survive in this planet.
In addition, it has a significant role in temperature and sounds. Without air, the average temperature on Earth will fall into below freezing. It has a big impact on the growth and reproduction of living things that need warmer or cooler temperature. And as for the sounds, air carries through sound waves from one point to another. It helps humans to hear a sound which came from the compression wave that travels through air. This is a mere fact. So why should we make ways for it to be damaged since we know air is vital for our survival?
Invasive is something that tends to spread and brings about harmful or undesirable effects towards a certain thing. These kinds of species, called invasive species, are nothing new, but they can overwhelm a community and could even compete with native plants and animals for food, resources, and even habitat. The intrusion of these species could lead to the extinction of native species and in return could diminish biodiversity. Harmful as we hear, but nature is too unpredictable, and invasive species are one of these cases.
The air, being one of the vital gases that living organisms need in order to live. The meaning of invasive is the intrusion of species in another environment that they can dominate and harm the hosts of the community. A term more appropriate for the combination of both words is biological pollution, or also known as biopollution. According to Kerry Britton, biological pollution is the movement of living organisms, it may be intentionally or accidentally, from the place they evolved to other environments that their population may explode and be dominant. This kind of pollution may be a cause of human activities.
Referring to invasive species, most cases of the problem are introduced by humans, but some cases are also caused by climate shifts. In terms of air pollutants, these substances that are from living organisms like pollen, insects, bacteria, and even viruses, these substances can affect our health. Once these pollutants are moved, they grow, adapt, and multiply, and that can threaten crops, forests, and humans. Just like how chemicals harm and contaminate the air, water, and soil, biopollution poses itself as a threat to the environment.
After being exposed in areas that have biopollution or biological pollutants, it can cause health problems. Biological pollutants can trigger allergic reactions such as hypersensitivity, pneumonitis, allergic rhinitis, and some types of asthma. It will only occur after repeated exposure on a specific biological allergen.
Not only that, it also causes infectious illnesses such as chickenpox, measles, and influenza. Sneezing, watery eyes, coughing, shortness of breath, dizziness, lethargy, digestive problems are symptoms of being affected by biological contaminants. This is just a biopollution that can occur indoors. What more if our biopollution is in our outside environment? Always remember to be cautious with our surroundings.
In order to stay healthy amidst biopollution, the following are some practicals to help remove the sources of biological pollution to prevent the return. The first one is check your home. One should not be at ease even at home because air pollutants are dirty particles that can travel through the air and are often invisible and can attack you wherever you are. Avoid or lessen the usage of constructional materials that can cause dust, such as wood, wallboard, insulation that contains nutrients that allow biological pollutants to grow. Second one is moisture control. Moisture also encourages biopollution to arise. In order to stop it, fix leaks, seepages, and use exhaust fans on bathrooms and kitchens in order to remove moisture. The third one is maintain all appliances clean that come in contact with water because filters that are dirty can be the start of air pollutants. The fourth and last is dust control. Controlling dust is a must because dust mites are one of the threats to the health of the people and might be the cause of allergy or asthma. Those steps that I mentioned are simple yet helpful for our living by having a fresh air that we, the future generations, deserve. Invasive or biopollution can be prevented, so why not start now?